Welcome back, everyone, to Talking It Out with Bachelor Nation. This week, we are catching up with an OG of the franchise. Evan Bass is on the show. Mike, do you know who Evan Bass is?
I have been informed that Evan Bass is the OG. So I'm excited to get to meet him, talk to him, and just become friends with him.
Yes, very excited to catch up with Evan. But before we get into that, you know how we do, Mike. We got to get into our hot takes. So I'm going to kick it over to you so you could start things off.
Uh-oh. So, hot take of the day, man. You are a married man, so I definitely want to ask you this and get your thoughts on this. Is getting engaged, if a friend of yours gets engaged at your wedding, is that a yay or nay? And why?
1,000% nay. It's my day. Shit, I'd be more scared of what Rachel would say, okay? Like, yeah, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Worry about Rachel, okay? No, but that's just disrespectful. Like, why? Why? Yeah. Like, do it on your own time. Do it in front of your family. Do it on your own time, in front of your family, in front of your friends, privately if you want. But why? Like, don't give me this, oh, you know, we were just in the atmosphere of love, and I just felt it in the moment. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. Like, do not do that.
Feeling loose today.
Do not do that at my wedding. I am sorry. I feel like that is disrespectful. Like, honestly, if I put myself in a neutral position where I was watching this happen at your wedding, the secondhand embarrassment that I would feel for those two would be astronomical.
Yeah. No, like, definitely so. How do you think the other people in the audience will feel? Your other patrons or guests? How do you think they'll feel?
I think it would be a mixed reaction. I think it would be like, oh, look at them. Yay. Congratulations. We're celebrating another, story of love. Yeah. But half the other people would be, and people might be filming it, and you'd hear like, oh, damn, not at the wedding. Like, no, you didn't. Like, you might hear some of that.
Let me ask you this, and then I'll give my response. How do you feel if they got engaged at the reception? Like, where they just partying, turned up?
Still, why? It's your weekend, your couple of days. Like, just don't do it at all. At the rehearsal dinner, at the party, at the ceremony, do not do it at all. Just save it for another time.
You know when people do things like as a group, and there's always somebody that does some dumbass shit, and now now the other people have to say, hey, please don't do this. Like, there was a situation, I think, last year where someone ate Gorilla Glue or something like that, and now they said, you can't eat Gorilla Glue. Just stupid things like that. Nobody better not ever get on a knee at my wedding. Like, it's a no for me, dog. Like, who would do that? The audacity to do that. Like, you can't, I'm gonna think you being cheap. That's what I'm gonna think. I'm thinking you being cheap. And so I'm gonna call you out, I'm gonna tell you on it. It ain't, I agree with this, none of this. Oh, I was caught up in the moment, Mike, and whoever your wife is, I'm caught up in that. No, you're being cheap. And you wanted to use our flowers, you want to use our backdrop. You ain't using my backdrop for your engagement photos.
That applause from all the guests, like, no.
Yeah, we ain't having it. I know my guests, though, will put an end to that real quick. They're like, no, you didn't. My mama, oh my God, no. No, you didn't.
Mama don't play.
Mama don't play that.
Don't you dare ruin my son's wedding.
Trying to tell you, how dare you ask my wedding photographer to take your engagement photos?
So let's say that's one of your close, like that's like a homie. What are you doing? Are you friends with that person? Like, are you, like, how long are you going to stay mad at them for that?
It's not happening. Like, it ain't happening. Like,
it's like, I am tackling you when you get on one knee. Like, I don't think you understand.
Yeah, it's not happening. You know how drunk I'm going to be first off? I'm going to be on so much emotion of love and happiness and drunk and feeling like I'm in charge. It ain't happening. I'm going to go over there and be like, oh, did you got to tie your shoe? Like, I'm going to mess it up for him. It's just not going to happen. And then all my homies know it ain't happening. It won't. Impossible.
I couldn't agree with you more, man. Couldn't agree with you more.
Man? What you got?
All right, so let's see. This is an interesting one. Somebody tweeted out, stop having birthday dinners if your guests are going to have to pay.
This is a good hot topic right here, because I can honestly see both sides of it. My first thought,
I was going to say the same thing.
My first thought, if someone says this to me, I'm thinking, okay, so you must got money. Because I grew up in a situation to where minimum wage is $5.15 per hour. I couldn't be paying for everybody's meal. Time is more important to me than it is the money. And so I think with that, well, I would say this. Ain't no way in hell you expect me to take time off, drive, especially in this traffic in these day and ages, drive to your venue, pay for my own meal, and get you a gift. That ain't happening. You're gonna have to pick one or the other. You want the memory or you want the gift?
I agree with that. I think, like, me personally, Mike, if you invited me out, you said, hey, it's my birthday, come out, bring Rachel, come out. I'd be okay with totally expecting to pay for my meal. Now, granted, I agree with you. My presence is your gift.
You damn right.
Right? Me celebrating with you is my gift to you.
Facts.
And at the end of the day, like, I don't think it's that big of a deal because it's like, all right, I'm paying for me and my lady. It's like we're going out to dinner on a date. Correct. You know what I'm saying? But we just happen to be celebrating your birthday. We're going to have a good time and turn up. But yeah, that's the way I would see it if, like, I was the guest. And at the same time, back in the day, now granted, we're all adults. You know, we're making more money now. Back in the day, it was always a situation where the birthday boy or girl, man or woman, wouldn't have to pay, right? They would get their meal covered and everybody would chip in the extra money for that person's plate, but everybody would pay for their own.
I think the last birthday dinner I went to was kind of like that, though. Like, what? The birthday person didn't have to pay for their food. Everyone else paid for it. And that was almost understood. I think it's just based on different cultures, bro. Like cultures and economic background.
Well, like, what if so what if this person tweeting is like, okay, you're cheap. Why aren't you paying for, like, don't invite me? I guess you could look at it the other way around. It's like,
you could.
If you don't want to pay for your own shit, then don't even come. Like, if you're broke, don't say that. But then they could say it.
If you're broke, don't say it. I think that, so this is such a great hot topic because it can go both ways. I would feel if it's like, if you and Rachel like, yo, Mike, we're having a couple's birthday for both of y'all overseas somewhere. We're comping the meals. We're comping, like, you know, the drinks and the meals, but you got to pay for your flight. I would be like, I bet that's cool. That's cool. Y'all want to be all bougie and exclusive.
Like everybody's contributing. I like that.
Correct. To me, that's nothing wrong with. But if we live in Austin and y'all like, yo, come out to the spot, I don't have no problem paying for my own meal. I'm going out having a good time with my friends.
Right. And at the same time, I could see a situation where it's like, Mike, you're like, you know what, 10-person dinner, I'm covering this all. You know what I'm saying? But then, yeah, if, like, I would feel bad. It's like, damn, I'm coming to party with Mike. He's paying for the entire dinner. Like, he, you know, dropped $5K or whatever the case may be. It's like, I would want to give you a gift at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. There has to be some type of.
This actually brings up a point. So I've done this multiple times now to where I throw, like, I don't know. I guess I like throwing parties now. I just threw another one recently for my friend. I paid for everything because I wanted to out of my own pocket, right? It's something, it was a gift that I wanted to do. I wouldn't be opposed if someone was like, oh, Mike, here's a couple $100 for the tip.
That's fair.
I mean, so if I had a party for my birthday and someone's like, yo, if you say, oh, Mike, here's $100 and Rachel said, here's $100 or whatever, I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
Believe me, I'm going to take it. So is that wrong to do that?
No, I mean,
if y'all did that, you and Rachel did that, I feel like I should want to pitch in something, you know?
Yeah, and at the same time, like, you're not going to deny it, and then if the person offering, like, don't offer it and not actually mean it, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would be messed up too.
No, it definitely would be, but I feel like we could talk about this all day. I want to ask the OG, the GOAT, Evan, his thoughts on this. Let's talk it out.
Mike, how many free trial subscriptions end up costing you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars long after forgetting to cancel? Well, guess what, bud? Now is the time to fight back against scammy subscriptions with Truebill.
I'm all about that, man. Seriously. Truebill is a new app that helps you identify and stop paying for these subscriptions that you don't want, that you don't need, or you simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 per year with using Truebill.
I could use those $720. Now, we all know that companies can make subscriptions hard to cancel, but Truebill truly makes it simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap.
You know, I love the fact that Truebill has, like, kind of a concierge there that when you need them to cancel your unwanted subscriptions, you don't have to. They got you. Truebill has helped me find subscriptions to things that I don't even remember signing up for.
Same, Mike. And it's not just us. Truebill has over 2 million users and has helped save them over 100 million. Yes, 100 million.
Don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at Truebill.com/talkitout. Go right now, Truebill.com/talkitout. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/talkitout.
Welcome to the show, Evan. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, man. We're so happy to have you on, and we got to get into it right away. I don't know if you know this, but on our show we do something called hot takes. So we want to put your feet to the fire a little bit and ask you about the hot takes. So are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Really super hot, man.
Mike, go ahead and ask the first one.
Super hot. First off, Evan, it's nice to meet you. I never met you before, but I did hear that you are the OG. So, and this background that you have going as well is confirming that for me. So thank you for being on, talking it out. Love it. But first hot take that I have for you, and you've been a married man before, so I really want to get your take on this.
Yes.
Your best friends, one of your best friends in your circle, they get engaged at your wedding day. Is that a yay or a nay, and why?
Absolutely. I think that's a great story. Like, what a great
there
event.
There we go.
Really? Okay.
I guarantee you that whoever the bride is will disagree with that. Like, there's no way she's going with that. But I'm like all for it. That'd be awesome.
Okay, so you're basically saying, hey, wifey, that's on you. I love it. That's on you to take care of it. If
yeah, exactly.
Okay, fair.
So you're just like...
My brother met his fiance, soon-to-be wife, at our wedding in Paradise. And so Julia, she was on Bachelor in Paradise and all that stuff. So, and that was awesome. Like, I felt like it wasn't quite a proposal, but it was close.
So it wouldn't feel like, so it wouldn't feel like they're kind of like taking the thunder or like stealing the thunder from your day. You wouldn't care. It's like, hey, celebration of love. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's not possible. Like, more for love, the merrier. Like, let's go. Yeah, absolutely.
Evan,
we said the total opposite.
We did. Bryan and I completely agreed, which was exactly opposite of what you said. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Evan. I have to have all the love for myself. Me and my wife. That's it. It's us for that.
I get it. It's probably because I've had 2 weddings, and they're not as big of a deal as they should be. So.
Fair enough. Well, happy for your brother though. That's awesome.
I know, they're doing great. They had a baby, and oh man, it's a beautiful family. So
there you go.
Before we get like too deep into it, I just want to say I love y'all's podcast. You guys are incredible hosts, and I've really enjoyed listening to you. You guys are such great listeners and such great question askers, and I think it's amazing. And obviously, love you guys from the show. And Mike, I campaigned hard for you to be the Bachelor. I want you to know that on Twitter. I think I briefly said on Good Morning America once, but I really, really wanted you to be the Bachelor, and I'm still pissed about it. So maybe one day.
So but Bryan, anyway, what Evan just did? Evan just complimented us so well. Now I can't be mean to him.
No, you can be mean to me.
No.
Fine.
Thank you so much, Evan. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Evan, we really appreciate that, because sometimes around here we get a little flack, from the audience. Yeah, like we don't pay attention to our guests. Like, we don't want to be here, but we're all in with you, bro. Yeah. We want to hear your story. So thank you for that.
That's ridiculous.
Truly appreciate that, man.
Of course.
All right, second hot take.
Let's go.
Somebody tweeted, stop having birthday dinners if your guests have to pay. So scenario, it's your birthday. You invite everybody out to, or, hey, I'm celebrating my birthday at, some fancy restaurant in town. How do you feel about that? Like, how does that all break down? Are you paying for the whole thing? Like, no questions asked, or is everybody just divvying up the bill?
Well, I love massive birthday parties. So it's everyone, it's always like crazy. And so I would, if it's a party and there's dinner provided, then I'm paying for it. If we're going out somewhere, then I probably wouldn't pay for everyone, because it's usually a pretty big group. But if it's smaller, maybe. But that's ridiculous that someone tweeted that though. Like, you're friends. Like, you should just take the L if you pay the bill. Like, come on. Yeah. Like,
I love it. Evan, I completely agree with that statement. Like, if it's a party that I'm throwing, I'm going to take care of it, right? But if we're going out somewhere, I completely agree with you there. But people definitely feel the opposite.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
He's like,
all right,
that's
brother.
why I don't go on Twitter that much anymore.
Talking about why you don't go on Twitter, we noticed that you haven't posted IG in like over a year. There's so much going on in your life. You want to know about it, man. What's up?
If I posted everything that happened in my life on Instagram and Twitter, then the world could not contain it. Like, it just doesn't. It's ridiculous.
Is that awesome?
No, I mean, So I went through a really hard divorce, and it was really hard. like I said, this is divorce number 2. So I really wanted to like sort of just take some time and focus on my kids and really just sort of step away. Like it wasn't life-giving to me. Like it just was, it was, there's just a bunch of stuff out there. There's always people saying chirping and whatever, which is fine. I think it's kind of funny, but that they still care or whatever. It's been like however many years, 6-7 years or whatever. And but like for me, it just wasn't like giving anything to me. And I really I love Instagram and Twitter. Like I love being funny and trying to make people laugh. Like that's what I love. And I just wasn't in that headspace. And I kept like, I would try to get on and do like one of those ask me anythings. And like every once in a while, it's just, I couldn't like connect with the part of me that really enjoyed it. And so I didn't. There's nothing better than live tweeting The Bachelor. Like that's all that Twitter's good for, in my opinion. It's like, it's just so much fun. Like I enjoy it.
So yeah, man, we're very sorry to hear about, your divorce, obviously that happened in 2020. And, I understand if you don't want to go too deep into detail, but is it cool if we ask you a couple questions about that?
You can. I may not answer them, but yeah, you absolutely can.
Okay.
I haven't really talked about it at all. So it's really, I haven't even.
Yeah, man. I mean, whatever you feel comfortable with sharing. I mean, that's totally cool with us.
I know, Evan, that Bachelor Nation loves you. And so I just want to make sure that you're in good spirits. Like you said, it's been some time. We've gotten a lot of people ask for you to be on today. And so it's great that we finally have you here and, to talk and just, we want to know all about you, to include the divorce, but then also so much more. Also saying, happy belated Father's Day, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Definitely happy belated Father's Day. In regards to the divorce, for you, how was that process to heal?
So I have done a ton of therapy. Like I started doing, I've been doing therapy for years, but I really just made sure that it was every week. I did every kind of therapy. Like I did, talk therapy. I did hypnotherapy. I did EMDR. There's like lights going back and forth, all kinds of different therapy. Still haven't done like the ayahuasca stuff yet. I'm terrified of it, but maybe one of these days, if you guys want to go, like let's do this.
I've been hearing a lot about that lately.
Yeah.
The ketamine therapy.
Ketamine. That's great for anxiety, but I don't know about I just dove into that, and then I also got like physically healthy. Like I just jumped in the gym and started like beasting out as much as a father of 5 can, and started bringing my kids to the gym, and just been working out, and then got sort of the diet under control. I just really love pasta and bread and wine, and just kind of quit all that. So,
nice.
I just wanted to make sure that I had as much of a chance to sort of rebound quickly as I could, and it's been amazing. Like, I've been divorced twice. Like that's like, I remember like I grew up super religious background, and like people would be like, yeah, your uncle Joey, he's been married 3 times. And we'd always be like, and like, now I'm that guy. Like, and so it's sobering. It's not like, it's terrible. And I'm really like, it's embarrassing on a level, but then it's also like, okay. I think it was like Salvador Dali that said like almost every mistake is of a sacred nature, and it's, understand them thoroughly. And, well, I don't think like the marriages were mistakes per se. It's the same principle. It's like, I just really wanted to understand why I did that, why I, like how it all happened, like how that process ended and didn't, continue my entire life like I wanted it to. And so,
are you saying why in terms of the divorce, or why in terms of
what I did, like what my part in that was, like what can I learn from and grow from as just a person to like, understand those issues, and does that make sense?
Yeah. Where are you at now? Like, where's your headspace now? Obviously, it seems like you've done a lot of growth with the therapy that you've done. Like, where do you see yourself right now? And how did that therapy change you so far?
Yeah, I'm super, like I judge the crap out of myself. And so, like that's sort of my go-to is like, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. It doesn't help also when Instagram's like, you're blah, blah, blah. And it's like, so, so learning how to accept myself and sort of, I don't know if rationalize is the right word, but like rationalize why I did certain things and why certain things happened. That really helped. But I'm not like, like I'm not out of it. Like I still feel like it's hard talking about it. Like I feel emotional, just thinking about it, and just it's this deep sadness still. And I don't know if you ever just get completely like perfect, or like, there's the scars and the wounds, they heal, but and they're also there to teach you and teach me, and I'm trying my best. So, yeah.
Definitely so. Evan, talking about like social media and then talking about this sadness within a divorce, it's almost funny because the way we talk to ourselves is what stings the most, right?
Right.
And so we hear this outside noise, which only perpetuates it, but it's what we say in between our own ears. And so, we got to change some of those words up. I've learned from this, right?
Yeah.
It's not just shameful or embarrassing. Hey, I'm a better man for it. I'm growing through it. And there's all these positive affirmation, all these positive words that we can say while still being honest, because we don't want toxic positivity either. And I love that you're so, this shit hurts.
Yeah. No, it's very real. It's very, very sad, and it should be, I want to make sure I don't like avoid the pain. That's like a natural instinct, is to be like, okay, I'm just going to go and, just go crazy doing this stuff, and, go do this. And like after my first divorce, I just was like, went crazy and did everything wrong and spent too much money on stupid things. And so I really wanted to do this one better, and better, whatever that means. I wanted to, approach it in a healthier way. So
definitely so.
Knowing everything that you know now and all the growing, the healing that you've done, like what advice would you give people out there that are going through a similar situation, whether it's in the public eye or not?
Man, I don't know if I'm in a place where I could give advice. I feel like there's, the easy answer was like, give yourself a lot of grace, which is like impossible. It's really hard to do. Like that's much easier. I think probably surrounding yourself with people that really love you and know you and know what happened, like know the situation. I think that's been a big deal, is like, you have to have people around you that are just, they got you no matter what.
Love that.
Amen.
Evan, do you know what happened?
Do I know what happened?
Yeah. And then
like how it all went down?
Yeah. Well, for the divorce to happen, do you know what took place for that to happen? Or was there a period of things that took place?
Yeah, I think I really like Bachelor Paradise is my favorite show. I love it more than anything in the world. It's incredible. Like
it's out soon.
I didn't come here to promote that, but but I like that 6 weeks I was on the beach changed my life, and it created this amazing bubble where I was able to connect with Carly. And I think it's beautiful what that can do. I think when we got out of it, like we weren't able to like set a proper foundation. Paradise gives you like a kind of foundation that's very like, you get, everything, there's nothing going on, right? Like you just have to work on your relationship, and you talk about like real life stuff, and it's really, I feel like it's like, for me, it was very genuine. And I think when you get out, that transition, I think that's probably where we missed it, like communicating about values and just communication, like figuring out how to work through life. I have obviously other children that aren't with Carly, and so there was just a lot to work through. And so I just don't think we set the foundation in the way that we should have.
Well, I know within relationships, and as we continue to grow, there's so many different fires that we add, right? We want to keep the fire hot in this one, and then this one, and this one. And it becomes a balancing act. And then with 5 children and being in the public eye and just having 2 careers, I can completely see how things, and then coming from the Bachelor franchise and being at that such a high, completely get that right there. I wanted to ask you this. One, how old are the kids and how are they handling it?
So I've got, carry the one. No, I'm just kidding. I got 5 kids. So
carry the one.
So I have a 21-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, and then a 4, and then the 2 with Carly, who are 4 and 2.
Okay, I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah, and so we actually had been like the kids handled it really well because it wasn't like necessarily like, it wasn't like a dramatic change for them. And so they sort of have been used to certain things that we've been doing. And so and it's complicated. Like, I don't know how many details I want to get into. It's complicated, but they, you know, the younger they are, the easier they adjust to things, right? Like they can bounce back. They can, whatever's happening, what they really just need is consistency one way or the other. And so I think we've done a pretty good job of staying consistent. And so I think they're doing really well. The older boys, you know, they're fine. They're like, you know, growing up, doing their own thing and enjoying their lives. They're really bummed, obviously. But they're, you know, they're sort of, you know, one's been out of the house for 2 years. One's, you know, looking at college and lives a super busy life. And, you know, it's all sports. We're just so busy that there hasn't really been a lot of like, you know, it's not a lot of negativity around it. It's more like, hey, just move on.
Can you speak a little bit on that consistency that you mentioned that I imagine is so important in co-parenting and how you and Carly are dealing with co-parenting?
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a process, like figuring out, like I've got my older boys, other than the one who's moved out full time. And so I've been very used for several years to having my kids at least half the time. So I'm like, I really wanted like 50-50, like I really wanted that. And that, you know, there's part of that you just have to give up and be like, you know, they're so young, they need their mom. And then but it sucked. Like I hate it. Like I hate like not being with them all the time. And so, you know, you work through it. It's never easy. Like there's no such thing as easy co-parenting. Like I don't understand. Like I read these articles and like, look at this Instagram picture with these people that are just co-parenting so well. I'm like, yeah, right. Let's see it. But with Carly, it's great. She's you know, it's fine. So I think we've found our groove and it's good. So, yeah.
What would you say that you learned about yourself after having the first and then the second divorce?
That I should probably wait a very long time before I get married again.
You're funny, bro. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, though. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
And actually, I don't know if that's true. I'm just kidding. You know, but both of the marriages I've been in have been fairly quick in their turnaround time. And so
what were those times?
So my first one was like 3.5 months, and then with Carly it was like right at a year. Because we got married on Paradise like almost exactly 1 year after we got engaged.
Evan, and so that's funny you say that because we did consider having a hot take, which was around a guy knows if he wants to marry you within 6 months. And so for basically your first one was 3.5 months and then your second being right at a year. Do you feel that is true, or do you feel that maybe I should just, you know, wait around? Like, what would you do in the future?
Man, I don't know. I'd like to think I could take a more measured approach, but I just like I love love, and that's part of the problem, right? Is I love love.
It's not a problem, man. It's beautiful.
No, well, it can become unhealthy if you get if you don't have the boundaries to like. I love like momentum, right? And like so momentum, like that is a great. I just like I will ride momentum.
So it sounds like establishing that foundation that you were talking about earlier, like that is maybe something that's really important, and just maybe getting to know that person on a much deeper level, like before the marriage. I think I need to like realize that I maybe don't know what that means, and so I need to figure that out. But like I don't know, like. It's hard. Like I want to be with someone, you know, like I really, really,
I feel you.
I really do. Like, and I mean, I don't know. I got to figure it out. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, I put a magic number out there. Like, I'll wait till I'm 45 and then get remarried. I'm committed to that, but you know, I'm also committed to the healing and the learning process.
With that, Evan, with that being said, you're not necessarily placing a time limit, which I personally think you're doing the right thing by doing that. And you are in therapy, you're around people that, you know, love and you're working out. So I feel like you're doing all the right things. to get out of the sunk per se, or use that term.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel it's just too early to ask, but since you said what you just said, if someone comes along in your life, do you feel like you would stop yourself?
Yeah, I think I would probably, I think I would slow it down. I don't know, like, I think so. I say yes now, but of course not. The answer is no.
Like, I'm a momentum man. Like, you're a momentum.
Yeah, no, like you gotta go. I've chosen, I've lived so much of my life intuitively, like just kind of like, hey, what feels good? Again, that's part of my upbringing. And so I'm trying to become more, you know, I don't know if grounded is the right word, but like I'm grounded for my kids, but for myself, it's a different story. But I'd like to be, you know, come from a more, like before, I always hated it when people were like, what qualities do you want in a woman? What values do you? I'm always like, that's ridiculous. Like, you're just going to know it when you see her. Like, you're just like, you know, whatever. But now I'm like, wait, that's actually a good question.
That's a fair question.
And so literally for the first time in my life, I'm like, okay, who do I want? Like, what is that supposed, you know, whatever. And of course, there's all this disqualification stuff I do. I'm like, man, I got like 5 kids, and that's a lot to ask anyone to come into. It's a lot of baggage.
Well, you got a 21-year-old, 21-year-old's out the house, 19-year-old about to be out the house soon. You know.
No, I know, but like just the optics of it, like it seems like they're the best kids in the world. Like, they're so fun. They are life-giving. They aren't like a drain. They're like they're perfect children, and not. I mean, that's ridiculous, but you know, they're amazing, and they really add to everyone's life that they're around, like everyone. And so I hope someone can see that one day. So I feel like I'm on like a dating app, like trying to pitch myself, but I'm not. I'm just
speaking of a dating app, like have you dabbled a little bit in the dating field at all, or are you strictly just working on yourself right now? What's your status right now?
Well, I'm working on myself. I have dabbled a little bit, like it's whatever, but
it's whatever.
Just seeing what's out there. Yeah, putting yourself out there, I think, is the hardest part, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I have it's whatever. Okay, so I went on your page. I want to transition a bit. I went on your page, and in your bio, I think it says something along the lines of, "This is an ad-free space," right? I love that personally, and so I wanted to ask you.
Also, a photo-free space. There's nothing.
There's nothing. By the way, I need you back on Twitter, because I feel like you're just hilarious, and I need you back on Twitter. Like, I need you just to.
For Bachelor in Paradise, man, it's like an anniversary, right? You gotta,
yes.
Gotta. Tweet
I think that might make
through the pain.
That might make you feel amazing. Honestly, you said there's no better feeling than live tweeting The Bachelor. And if you're on the West Coast, stay on the West Coast.
They'll love to hear from you.
Yeah, I'm just, you know, it's just been so like you got to age out of tweeting The Bachelor, right? Like, there's got to be. I mean,
Evan, Brian's 73 years old. What are you talking about?
It's true. This is facts.
Wait, how old are you?
Although I do not live tweet on Bachelor. Like what you said, Evan. I just watch it. I'm like, oh damn, I was gonna tweet, but that just happened like 2 commercial breaks ago. Like never mind. I don't have my tweets prepared. Yeah, I don't have my tweets prepared.
And also, deleting them the next morning is like cathartic. You're like, ooh, I should not have said that. I should not have said that. Delete. Ooh, that was, you know, like that's also a really fun experience.
Evan, I've gotten in trouble for not deleting some Bachelor tweets, and don't care. I do delete some other stuff sometimes when it's like 11 p.m. at night and I get too emotional. So, man, what did you do for Father's Day, since you said, you know, you have the best kids ever? I know you do. I know they're fun-loving kids. How was that?
All right. So we woke up and we went to brunch, and then we went to I took the older kids to the gym, and then we went to the pool. And then after that, we went to the Nashville Soccer Club match.
It's a full day, man. Yeah, it's amazing. I do everything I do, like it's got to be like Griswold style. Like, it's got to be insane and like on 11 all the time. Like, just that's a full fun-packed day. Now, question: are you outlifting your son still in the gym, or are they taking it over? Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah, got that old man strength going, baby. Absolutely. They're not gonna get me.
Yeah, they're catching up quick. They're like all my boys are taller than me. They're all like at least 6 feet. Even the 14-year-old. So they're gonna absolutely destroy me here soon. But for now, I'm really having fun. Like, yeah, you see that?
So question, are they like, yo, this is my dad, like super cool dad? Or are they kind of like, don't embarrass me, dad? Are they kind of like that? Or you guys have
at the gym, at the gym, at the gym, they love it because I'm like teaching them stuff. And
okay.
Yeah, it's been really cool. But in general, no, they're pretty like, they don't, their friends are like, why does he have so many Instagram followers? And that's about it.
It's like, your dad is cool as hell.
Dad used to do OnlyFans.
But I don't have a TikTok, so it's like not even relevant anymore.
Yeah, before OnlyFans was thing, Dad was, doing that stuff back there.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Evan, I'm going to ask, because I already know, I can hear all of Talking Out listeners asking this question right now. In the future, you already know I'm going to ask, can we see you back on Bachelor in Paradise?
Maybe like a date card or something, giving out a date card. I don't know. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. I thought it'd be funny if Carly was the Bachelorette and then I showed up to give advice unasked and unwanted, unsolicited. Because I think somebody was like, do you know that they were asking Carly about being the Bachelor? I was like, what are you talking about? That's amazing. But it actually really hurt, but I had to be like, it's fine. It's great. I would love that.
It's fine. I love that you said that because, sometimes we have to be like this good person, but it's like, no, that shit hurts. I don't want to see this.
It's like a knife to the heart.
Yeah, no, I totally was like, I was just trying to protect myself from pain in that moment. But
would you do it?
Dude, I've done it all, right? Like, I don't know. I've gotten engaged on there. I've gotten married on there. We had an ultrasound on there. We had a gender reveal a sex reveal on there. There's I don't know. It's a lot. But, and all these girls are so probably young now, right? They're, and they all want to probably be influencers, right?
They're not all young. I can say that. Young is in sense of mind, right? For one, I would say, but there's a varied age group from 22 to 40, I believe.
Yeah, it'd be. Of course, I would do it. I'm just full of shit.
There you go. We wanted to
listen. I don't think you know, Mike. Evan is a force to be reckoned with. There is nothing he wouldn't do to pursue a woman on that beast. Let's go back. I remember this is what made you the Evan Bass. Did you fake an injury? Is that how I recall it? All I remember is you in the ambulance and Carly was with you, but you maybe weren't as hurt as you were.
one of my I love that moment so much. It was great. I actually was kind of pretty sick, but we made it into a whole ambulance ride, which I feel right at home at. I used to be an EMT, so I love, I was grabbing the oxygen mask, I need some of that and I need that. I was like, I can do this IV, give it to me. And that was a great adventure. And you know what? I don't know. Has there been an ambulance since? Somebody's got to bring it back. There's got to be an ambulance entrance in Paradise. Come on.
You set the bar, man. You set the bar.
There used to be an ambulance every freaking season. Everything. There was always something, and it feels like we've had the ambulance drop off a little bit. So
you're giving me.
I'll send an email.
You're giving me some ideas, Evan. If I were to do something I like this ambulance and the back. I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
They're fantastic for falling in love. It's
great for
perfect situation.
It's great for stealing time and just grabbing the girl you like away from everybody else. It's quality one-on-one time right there.
Exactly. And they've got laughing gas on the more advanced ambulances now. It's incredible what they can do with the place.
There you go.
I would love that actually.
It's Evan is so funny.
Yeah, exactly. He's no, for me, not right for her. That sounds terrible. No. Oh my God, I just
both of you.
No, yes, okay.
You're both enjoying it.
My God.
Where are we taking this?
Delete.
Evan, is it true that you're a penis doctor?
Seamless transition.
I'm not a doctor. That really, if I have one beef with The Bachelor, it's that I said I am not a doctor 1,000 times. And guess what got edited out every time? Every time I said I'm a doctor, they were messing with me. Just to create that thing. No, I'm not a penis doctor. I have seen a lot of penis in my professional career.
This guy, I tried to help you the first time. I'm gonna let you stay here now.
Dang, wait, no, I'm not a penis doctor.
So is the proper term an erectile dysfunction specialist? Is that the proper term?
Perhaps my second beef is that I begged them not to use anything with erectile dysfunction, and of course, guess what's my Chiron? Erectile dysfunction. So I was like, gosh,
Okay, Evan.
I'll never forget. You know how the Facebook things come out and it's like all these, it's like the guys and it's their job and where they're from. First of all, nowadays they get like fancy backgrounds. They get to do cool poses. Like back in my day, probably your guys' day too. Maybe
my picture wasn't all that
my day at all.
It was like a bizarre background where it was designed to make you look as bad as possible. Anyway, so mine had like erectile dysfunction specialist and like like Jordan Rogers getting like 2,000 likes. Wells is getting like like all these people are getting likes. I've got like 2. And they're like, oh my God, what a joke. And I'm like, oh.
You would think that would be a fantastic occupation for a potential suitor. You know how to fix this stuff.
Right. I mean, you'll never have to deal with it, woman.
It's like I can fix myself.
Talk about Jordan and Wells. I've met Wells. I love Wells. I hit him up a few times a few weeks ago. Who are you still cool with in the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful. Like Wellesley is probably my closest guy. Derek. I love Dolphin Shark Girl Alexis. She's amazing. I know, one of the greatest of all times, truly. There's a handful. Yeah, I mean, what's interesting is you think when you get off that show, like everybody's going to be your best friend for life, and of course, that's not how it works. Like you kind of end up with people that are closer to you, either in location or just by nature of like who you are. So
any communication with your bestie Chad Johnson?
Who's? I don't know. I'm confused.
Never mind.
Ocho Cinco?
That says it all. That says it all.
He played for the Bengals.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. You guys maybe had a little tiff, little run-in back in the day.
I will have to get back to you on that. I can't seem to remember it. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Oh my goodness.
That's hilarious.
No, we have not talked.
Wait, was that your season? FUCH.
Yes.
Was that your season? Okay.
It was.
That was like an all-around epic season.
I am 100% going to YouTube that as soon as
Wild. It was incredible. And like everyone was so mad that he left so early. Like everyone was like, he's supposed to like carry this season and he's gone like in 24 hours. It was like,
wait, I didn't know about this.
Yeah. Didn't something happen? Like he went to the bathroom or something?
Yeah, well, it was terrible. He called Sarah some names, and man, it was really bad. He got really mean to the staff, who were like the coolest guys ever and gals ever. But like, yeah, no, he did some really, really crazy stuff. That was not cool.
1,000,000% looking this up. 1,000,000%. Like,
Mike's a little new school, Evan. Like I still remember these BIP great episodes over here. So wait, so talk about let's go back to your work here. Like, what is it? Can you describe what is it that you do for a living when it comes to being an erectile dysfunction specialist? Or
Brian, why you say it like that?
No, I guess he said I'm not a doctor. I'm not an erectile dysfunction specialist. I guess I don't know what. What's your official title? Like, what would you give yourself as a title?
Practice administrator. Like,
okay.
Yeah. Like just I mean, helping guys. Urology practice that helps guys with ED and low T. So,
love that.
Yeah, low T is like a big one these days.
I was just about to ask you that, Evan. Why do you feel completely different topic, but on the same topic at the same time? Why do you feel there's so much low testosterone in today's day and age?
Well, do you have a minute?
We have several minutes.
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Yeah, so tough to say. I think it's a combination of factors. There's a lot of estrogens in the environment, like plastics and stuff like that. Alcohol is a testosterone killer. Weed is a testosterone killer. Porn, testosterone killer. Like all those things. Everyone loves the dad bod, but really when you have that fat right there at your midsection, it's a classic low T symptom. And when you have that fat, it's easier for your body to convert instead of building testosterone, converting to estrogens. You end up with there's 40 different estrogens in your body, and so the estrogen obviously isn't too much. Estrogen isn't great for a man. We need a little bit for our heart health, but the testosterone, there's just so many things in the environment right now that are killing it. And it's unfortunate because I feel like the bodybuilders sort of hijack the testosterone industry. Because when you think of like testosterone, you think of like jacked, you think of steroids and all that stuff. But Guys just need it to maintain their energy level, bone density, and libido, and again, keep off that belly fat. So it's crazy how over the past, been doing this like 15 years, like I've seen this dramatic drop off in male testosterone at younger and younger ages. Mm-hmm. Like back in the day, we treated guys who were, mid 40s, 50s, 60s, and now we got guys coming in late 20s, 30s, and their testosterone is just in the toilet. Wow. And it's just super low. I think I saw some video where it was like a man, and I don't know if this is true, but it seems like it could be like a man who's 20 years old today has the same testosterone of a man who was 70 years old 20 years ago. Yep. And wow. We're just seeing it in the lab results. It's ridiculous. And everybody just feels like blah. It's like they don't, they feel like a lot of guys describe it like they're walking through life underwater. It's like everything's just a little bit harder. Yeah. And so,
So what would you say? Deal. What would you say to like help out the audience out there? I have a 2-part question. Like, what can men do? Like, top 3 things they should stop doing today in order to help out with those testosterone levels. And also, the second question is for the women in our audience. How many women do you see that are on testosterone therapy, and how does it help them?
Oh, I don't mess with the women. If I could, the women stuff. There's hormone specialists out there for women, but that's tricky. Testosterone women need just a teensy little bit. Yeah. And so when you start messing with that, it's great. There's some women that love it and do really well with it. I've heard anecdotally so many different testimonies about how testosterone's helped women out. Definitely worth checking out like a hormone specialist if you feel tired and you're not in the mood for sex and all that stuff. Like it's certainly worth exploring. As for men, getting healthy is the biggest thing. Cutting out, eating a healthy diet.
I'm stopping alcohol. It's done.
Alcohol is a big one. Like it will ruin you in more ways than just your liver. And then obviously weed. Everyone's smoking weed these days. And then, like I said, porn, it's crazy, but it's well studied that watching too much porn is going to decrease your testosterone level. I also think there's a little bit of and again, this is just spitballing, but there's not as much of a chase involved in like how we do life. Like we swipe right, we are DMing people. We're not like going up to people in real life. And so everything's kind of easy. And so there's not like that, that instinct anymore. It's just kind of like, well, I'll just move. This girl's, I just need to move on to the next one. Like,
everybody's looking for
but maybe there's another one.
Instant gratification, basically, is like what we're looking for. Yeah.
Glad you said that piece right there. I have a few friends, obviously won't say their name, that are in their 20s that have low testosterone, and they don't drink. They might do some natural herbs. They're in shape. I wonder what aspect of the plastic has, because our plastic intake has increased dramatically on top of everything else. Porn definitely has increased, which is bad for low T and so many other things also. But I want to do a study on the plastics. Brian, maybe we should have somebody that's a plastics doctor. I don't know.
Like all the chemicals from the plastic actually seep into your water,
right?
And you actually ingest that. So I mean, think about how much plastic water bottles we consume in this world, right?
Totally.
I mean, you should definitely get rid of that plastic water bottle, Mike.
Yeah, no.
Get yourself a glass bottle.
Yeah. But not only plastic water bottle, but also the plastic containers that we take, for lunch to work or to school.
No.
It's just plastic in everything that we do. Oh my God, I hate it.
I know.
Evan, you came on, you teaching us, man.
I think it's important. A lot of people will say, or not a lot of people, but there's going to be like one person that's like, men don't need more testosterone, toxic masculinity. I think it's important. We're not going for like roid rage here. We're not going, a lot of bodybuilders are doing, 1,500 milligrams. It's like 7, 8 times the amount that you should for therapeutic benefit. We're just trying to get guys to feel better. Like, if your husband's boyfriend's like on the couch and, falls asleep after dinner, that's, like getting out and like doing stuff, like just having that energy, that edge, life. Just that little bit of edge. That's so many. I think Henry Thoreau is like, most men lead lives of quiet desperation. And I think that's a lot of guys with low T kind of feel that, they're kind of like, I don't feel good, but like, I don't know what to do. Like, and it's just kind of like, it's just like a blah feeling, you just play video games and just like distract yourself. And
I love these quotes.
So you're saying the Homer Simpson lifestyle is not good?
Hey, he's a classic low T guy with that guy.
Classic low T guy. But what Brian just said, I was going to say the same thing, and I caught that too, Brian. So it's crazy we both caught that. Evan, are you a reader?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I love reading. Oh my God, I have to read like a book a month.
Is it Dolly, Thoreau? I mean, we've made multiple quotes this episode. Love that.
Evan, you're a reader. What are you reading lately that's just been phenomenal for you, and why?
I've actually been on a Murakami kick. Do you guys know who that is?
No, Murakami.
He's a Japanese writer. It's like sort of like a sci-fi, fantasy, bizarro fiction.
Okay.
But man, there's so many amazing quotes in his books, and you have to get through some weird stuff. And I'm not going to try to rationalize why there's weird stuff in the books, but I love fiction. Like that's mostly what I go to. But Murakami's amazing. There's a book called IQ84, which is like 1,200 pages, but it's an incredible novel. So sorry, I'm not reading like.
No, don't say sorry. This is a beautiful question because Brian and I and our listeners talking out want to get to know you better.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I've never heard of Murakami before. I just looked him up. This sounds pretty cool. I'm looking at books right now. It's
some cool stuff. Yeah, IQ84. If you really want to read like a book for a month, it's massive. But yeah, he's got some really good ones. He's got some smaller ones too.
Oh, I love that. So you can learn something new about you. What's your favorite book of all time?
I love IQ84. I'd say Catch-22 is really good, but it doesn't. It's not. It wouldn't hang in this day and age. But the parts of it that are I just connect with it because I feel like a lot of my life has been a Catch-22, and it's a war book, and it's very, very. It's again, it wouldn't stand up to today's standards for sure. But I really connected with that one when I was younger. And let me think. I love American Gods by Neil Gaiman. And actually I think it's on like Stars as a show, and it's the closest I've ever seen a show come to matching a book. So
that's saying a lot.
It's incredible. It's so good. I think there's a couple seasons out there, but yeah, those are a few of my faves.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, appreciate that, man. So, Evan, you are, again, a BIP alum. And speaking and just looking forward to this season coming up, as you know, it's coming up very, very soon. What advice do you have for people on the beach?
That's ridiculous. I don't feel like I can give advice. Advice. I think why I was successful on Paradise was because I went in there not giving a damn. I was like, I don't care. Like Bachelorette was awful. I was miserable the whole time. I felt like an idiot. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on there and do whatever the heck I want. And I'm just going to go for it. And but people can't do that. I don't know. That's a really tough, everyone cares about how they look and all that stuff. But that was so fun. Like back then there was less of it didn't matter as much in real life. Now it probably matters a little bit more. But like back then it was like, I can do anything I want on this beach and it's not going to matter. It's just going to be TV. And so, and of course, we're not treating people badly. I was treating people well, not like, I feel like I have to disclaim so much of what I say, but you get what I'm saying. Like
yes. It's a different day and age now.
Yeah. It was fun going into it, just being like, I'm going to just have a blast. And I was really proud that I came up with some like all this stuff to do. And, so many awkward, horrible, embarrassing moments that I was so excited to do. Like I was like, yes, I'm going to go up in the middle of these two making out and I'm going to interrupt her and steal her away. Like, when do you get to do that? Like, that's incredible.
When do you get to do it?
It was a beautiful moment. And
Evan was plotting.
Brian, he has high testosterone. You could tell.
That takes some testosterone right there.
Definitely so.
Two people making out. Oh,
Evan, love it. Evan, before we let you go, man, you're a fan of the pod. We always ask our guests this, and I feel like you're going to have some great ones. What's a gem that you have for us that you could share with the audience?
Well, speaking of testosterone and anti-aging, I think my tattoo is one of my favorites. It's do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should rage and burn until close of day. Rage against the dying of the light. So nice. It's like you said, age is just a number. It's I'm father of 5, getting older. I'm just going to keep living.
There you go.
On 11. So.
Aging like a fine wine, baby.
If anyone ever feels like they're aging, I would say look at Bryan's Instagram. The boy is amazing. Like, looks like you're 22.
Appreciate it, Mike. Appreciate it.
Well, Evan, thank you so much for being on. We're wishing you much success in your future in all the efforts and the things that you desire to do. And we might see you on Bachelor Paradise again.
Thanks so much. I appreciate
you, man.
Great chatting with y'all.
Much.
All right, have a good one.
Take care, man.
Bryan, how'd you feel about Evan?
Man, I thought he was refreshing. I thought he was refreshing. Especially with all the heavy talk about, his divorces and whatnot. Like, even though he says he hasn't reached that level yet, where he truly wants to be, I think he's very self-aware.
Yes.
And he's, taking the steps that he needs to take in order to reach that level of enlightenment, I think. And I think that's super brave. I think it's very courageous, and he knows his faults. He knows what he has to do. He knows his good aspects as well. And he's just trying to be a better person at the end of the day. And that's all you could ask for, man. So,
definitely so. I think Evan is an extremely well-balanced person. And what I mean by that is, like, he knows his emotions. He knows when he's sad, knows when he's being jovial and playful, and can also navigate both of those. And then he has a
able to acknowledge it.
Yeah, which is, I think more of us should be able to do that or strive for that. And so it was cool, definitely cool to have him on.
Yeah, and he seems like such amazing dad. You heard his Father's
I love that he
Day.
goes to the gym with his kids.
That is dope. Are you
going to the gym with your kids?
Yeah. Shit. Yeah. When I have kids, I'm going to be... By the time they get to lifting age, hopefully I'll still be able to outlift them. We'll see.
I think I'm going to say it now. I haven't said it in a while. One, we need to get this marathon in.
And that damn marathon, bro. Jesus.
And then two, I'll be 35 this year. Can't believe I just said that. It'll be refreshing for us to be like 70 and still getting in. Like,
absolutely.
I look forward to that moment. If
I don't
intend
to stop,
I look forward
man.
to that. Yeah.
I don't intend to stop. And I think that's the way everybody should look at it that way. Like Evan was just saying, age is just a number. Age is just a number. You want to strive to be the best, like you said, best 70-year-old you could be. You know what I mean? And that's all you need to focus on.
Actually, me and the man upstairs, we already spoke. I'm living to 3 digits, It's
3 digits?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love life. I want to be here for a long time.
Amen, man. From your mouth to God's ears, bro.
There we go.
But anyways, to all of our listeners, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We just want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we love y'all. Thank you.
Man, that was so sweet. The voice, the way you said it was just great. And we always love to hear your opinions, your stories, your insights. So please don't forget to like, comment, follow. Message us on social at Talking It Out, B as in Bachelor, N as in Nation on IG. And as always, do not forget to subscribe to our podcast and listen to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. Baby, don't DM me no more until you hit that subscribe. We love y'all.